Have you noticed this lately? You look at any new car, and it's just covered in cameras. They're in the bumpers, the mirrors, tucked behind the windshield. It's like our cars are growing eyes.
Yeah,
but these little lenses are doing way more than just helping you park. They are the heart of a quiet revolution, a multi-billion-dollar industry that's totally changing how our cars see the world. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this whole thing, right? I mean, it's a fair question. Why the sudden explosion of cameras? Is it all just for a better parking view, or is there something bigger going on here? Well, the answer is yes. It's about safety, it's about convenience, and it's about a huge technological shift that's redefining what a car can do. So, let's get on the same page. At its core, an automotive camera isn't just, a simple webcam bolted onto a car. Think of it as a critical sensor. It's a digital eye that is constantly feeding information to your car's brain, all to make driving safer and honestly a whole lot easier. And these little sensors, they are a very, very big deal. And when I say a big deal, I mean it.
And to understand the mechanics
market
of how that transformation is actually happening.
This isn't some niche feature for super high-end luxury cars anymore. Oh no, this is a massive global industry.
Report, by the way.
Let's take a look at the numbers.
It was published in
Get
April
this.
2026.
In 2025 alone,
and it covers
we're looking at a market for these cameras that's worth a staggering $10.8
our
billion.
mission for today's deep
that is a
dive
huge
is to
number.
explore
But
how
as
we
impressive as that is, it's
from
not even the
those
most
simple,
interesting part.
grainy
The
rear
real
view
story
lenses of the
is where
2010s
it's going.
to the
By
highly
2034,
advanced
that number is expected to more than
vision
double,
systems
hitting
of
nearly
today.
$25 billion.
It's a huge leap in technology.
You're talking about a growth rate of over 9% every single year.
Like the third
So yeah,
person
this
sitting right here
technology
at the
isn't
table
just
with
sticking
us
around.
as we
It's
carry into these
absolutely
numbers.
exploding.
I love that. And, just to set the
so a
baseline here, the
multi-billion-dollar
foundational
market.
numbers in
That's
this
wild.
Redline Pulse report,
But
they
what's
really
actually
frame the
in that
sheer
market?
physical
What kinds of
scale
cameras are
of
we
this
talking about
hardware
here?
shift.
And what in the world are they all
So we're
doing
looking
to
at a
fuel that
market valued
incredible
at
growth?
$10.8
Now,
billion
you might think the
in
coolest, most
2025.
futuristic camera would be at the top, but
And
you'd
it
be
is projected to
surprised.
rocket up
The
to
humble rear-view
$24.5
camera, the one we all
billion
know,
by
still
2034.
absolutely
Yeah,
dominates
that
the
represents a
market and makes up over a third of the entire
compound
industry.
annual growth
A
rate.
big reason for that is
And,
simple. Safety
hardware
regulations in a lot of
markets
countries
this
now say
physical
every new
complexity,
car
they
has
do
to have
not
one.
more than double
So
in less
what
than a
are all these
decade,
cameras
without
for?
some kind of
Well, the number one
fundamental
reason, making
restructuring
up
of the
almost
underlying
half the
technology.
entire market,
Okay, let's
is for
unpack
something
this.
called
Because
ADAS.
in the early days,
That stands for
a rear-view
Advanced
camera
Driver
was
Assistance
essentially
Systems.
like
And if your
a
car does
submarine
things that feel a little bit like magic,
Right,
like
just
helping
a
you
dumb
stay in
piece
your
of glass
lane
and a
or
basic
automatically
CMOS
braking to avoid
sensor,
an accident,
passing a raw,
yep, that's
unedited
ADAS at
video
work,
feed
powered by
to a
these
wire
cameras.
to a screen.
So we've established the
just
market is
passing the light
huge,
through.
and it's
And the
driven by
human
these
driver
incredible
was the
safety
sole
systems.
processor. You
But
had
what's
to
the
look at the
real
screen,
force pushing this
recognize a
tech into
blurry
basically
shape,
every
realize,
new
oh, wait,
car
that's
that
a
rolls off the
bicycle,
line?
and hit the brake yourself.
It really all
Exactly.
comes
The
down to a
cognitive load was
powerful
entirely
1-2
on
punch.
you.
It's
But
that
today's
classic push and pull
AI-powered
situation.
cameras,
On
they're
one side, you
entirely
have
different
us, the
beasts.
customers,
I mean, they
walking into
function
dealerships and
much more
saying,
like a direct
hey,
optic
I want the
nerve
car with
wired
automatic
straight into a
emergency
localized
braking.
brain.
That's the
And what's
pull.
fascinating
And on the
here
other
is how
side,
the
you have
physical
government stepping in
architecture
and
of the
saying, you know
hardware
what,
is actively
rear view cameras are
changing to
so
make that
important, they're
optic
now
nerve a
mandatory.
reality.
That's the push.
While the
Together,
report
those two things are
heavily
creating an
emphasizes this
unstoppable
transition
engine for
toward
growth.
edge computing
But
in
here's where the
automotive
story
optics.
gets really, really interesting.
Right, so automakers,
This isn't just
they
about adding
are
more
no
and more
longer
cameras to
relying
a car.
entirely on a
The
central
real
computer
transformation,
sitting somewhere deep
the thing
in
that is changing the
dashboard to do
entire
all the
game,
thinking.
is
Okay,
what's
so it's not
happening
sending the data far
inside
away.
those
Exactly.
cameras.
Instead,
We're talking
they are
about the rise of
embedding neural
artificial
processing
intelligence.
units, like actual
So how does an AI
chips
camera actually
directly onto the
think?
camera
Well,
module
it's kind of like a
itself.
three-step
Wait, right behind the
dance.
lens?
First,
Literally
the
right
camera just
behind the lens.
captures
So the
everything
camera
it
doesn't
sees,
just
a
capture light
constant
anymore,
video
it
stream.
processes
Step 2,
massive
an
volumes of
onboard AI
visual
chip
data
analyzes
right
that
at
data
source.
instantly.
That is wild.
It's not just
It
seeing
is.
a
It
person.
identifies
It's
that a
recognizing they're a
cluster of
pedestrian
pixels
and
is a
predicting,
pedestrian. It
they
tracks
look
their
like they might step into
trajectory,
the street.
and it
finally,
calculates
step
the
3,
time to
the car's
impact
brain uses that
before
analysis to make
data
a
ever even
split-second
leaves the
decision.
bumper.
Slam
And
on the
that
brakes,
latency
nudge the
reduction,
steering,
I mean,
sound an alert.
That is the
It is
entire
a
ballgame
total game
when you
changer.
are moving at highway
Now,
speed.
with this kind of
100%.
explosive growth
Because
and
if the camera has to
mind-blowing
package
tech,
a high-def
you have
raw
to figure
video
there are going to
feed,
be some bumps in
send
the
it
road,
across
right?
the car's
And of course there
internal
are.
wiring
But
harness,
while people talk
wait
about
for the
data
central
privacy
CPU
or how well the
to,
cameras work in a
process
snowstorm,
the frames,
the single
takes
biggest
time.
challenge right
and then
now
wait
is
for an
actually a
actuation
lot
command
more
to go all the way back to
basic.
hit the brakes.
Yep.
You've lost precious
It's the
milliseconds.
price tag,
You've
plain and
lost
simple.
distance. I mean, at
This
70
technology
miles
is
per hour,
absolutely
a
incredible,
fraction of a
but it is
second
not
in
cheap.
data
And that creates a
transition
pretty
latency
big hurdle
translates
for
to
getting it into
dozens
every
of
single
feet of
car on the
stopping
road.
distance.
That's the
And
difference
that
between a
cost
close
factor
call
hits
and
you
a
in a
massive
few
crash.
ways.
Exactly.
You know those
So
super
by putting
cool
the
360
AI chip
degree
directly
surround
on the
view
edge,
systems?
the decision-making
They had a
efficiency
serious
just
chunk of
scales
change to the car's
exponentially.
final
But,
price.
this
In
introduces
markets
a
where every
really
dollar
massive
counts,
engineering
that can be a
hurdle
deal
that the
breaker.
report notes.
And Let's not forget
heat
maintenance.
dissipation.
Because
If a
AI
rock
chips
flies
get
up
hot.
and cracks
Very
that high-tech
hot.
camera
You are
embedded
taking
in your
an AI
windshield,
processor
yeah,
performing
that repair bill is
teraoperations
going to
per
be a little
second, or
steep.
TOPS,
But even with those
and
cost
stuffing it
challenges,
into a
the road
tiny,
ahead looks
sealed
unbelievably
black
exciting.
plastic housing.
In fact,
front
two
grille
of
of a
the
car.
absolute
Right,
biggest
a
trends
car
in
that
the
might be
entire
baking
auto
in the
industry are
Arizona
about to
summer
make these
sun.
smart cameras
Oh,
more
man.
essential than
Yeah,
ever
that sounds
before.
like a nightmare for an
First up,
engineer.
the big
It
one.
is.
The dream
Managing
of
that
fully
thermal load
autonomous,
for these edge
self-driving
computing
cars.
cameras is one of
Those
the
vehicles will
primary
need an
drivers of
entire
R&D
fleet of
spending in this
high-performance
entire
cameras
market
just to
right
see
now.
and
Which I guess
understand
makes
the
the,
world around them. They'll be the primary sense.
34.45%
And second,
market
there's the
share
electric
currently
vehicle
held by the
boom.
basic rear
EV
view
makers
camera
love to
seem
pack their
like
cars
ancient
with the
history.
latest tech,
It's definitely the
using
older
cameras
tech,
for
yeah.
everything from
Because the
futuristic
real
digital
momentum
side
in the
mirrors
report,
to just
the
making the
segment
whole
that's
driving
growing at a
experience feel
10.5%
sleeker and
rate
more modern.
is in
And
surround
that kind of
view
brings us to this
Yes,
one
the
final
360
big idea.
systems.
Right.
These
These are the
cameras
systems
aren't
that
just
make it
passive
look
little
like a
gadgets
drone
recording video
is
anymore.
somehow
They
hovering
are
10 feet
active
above your
observers.
car.
They're
on the
analyzing,
infotainment screen.
predicting,
And the
and
surround
making
view
decisions
segment is
in
where
real
the
time.
computational
They're turning our
heavy
cars
lifting
from
really
simple
shows
machines
its face.
into
'Cause
our
it's a lot of
intelligent
cameras, right?
Typically
co-pilots.
4.
So the
A
question we're
standard
left with is
surround view
this.
system
As this
utilizes
technology gets
4
more and more
wide
powerful,
angle or
who's
fisheye
really in the
lenses
driver's
front,
seat?
rear, and under the side mirrors.
Okay.